Okay. Are we getting everything? And by everything, I do not mean that I'm wearing sweatpants. I do not need y'all to see that. Though, to be honest, if you are watching YouTube in the year of 2023 and you think that anyone ever is wearing actual pants, if not just not wearing pants at all, grow up. Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be predicting what books are going to make it onto my best books according to Booktube of 2023. Now, I'm planning, okay, on doing a best and a worst, but if you remember how long it took me to make last year's video for best, you'll know why this might possibly be a pipe dream. And I thought to myself, I'm going to set it up months in advance. I'm going to make spreadsheets. It's going to be so much easier. But the one thing that I think is going to make this year's cultivating all of the numbers more difficult is that 2023, the publishing year, mediocre is too kind of a word for this year. Ass is how this year's been. Terrible, like terrible. And it's not like, oh, I know what's going to be on the worst books of the year because everybody's giving this book 1 star. No, it's a bunch of people going a generous 3 to like every book that's coming out in 2023. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. I'm confused. So what I'll say is that I have a list of 16 books that I think definitively will make it in the top 30 of the ones that I cultivate. And then I have 6 additional books that I either for some weird reason or another feel like will be on there, or that I think will be on there but will not have published in 2023. Now, obviously, this is not a definitive has to come out in 2023 list. Absolutely not. This is how I go through all the booktubers that I can find, best books of 2023 video, and whatever they say, I write it in a spreadsheet, and then I try to find which ones are mentioned the most and categorize them by what all are going to fall into possibly 15 to 20 books in total. So it could come out in any year, but obviously the majority of them are going to come out in 2023 because we're booktubers. You know, we're trying to stay hip with the times. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I did go through and make very definitive, like factual lists of why I think certain things. I had a list of 100 books that came out in 2023 that I felt like I'd seen a lot in the booktube community. But then when I went to Goodreads and checked out their ratings, the number of ratings, number of reviews, and then I also checked who all I follow, because I know I don't follow all booktubers, but I do follow quite a few on Goodreads, and if any of them had rated it 5 stars. So that is the way that I have broken it down into a list, is from least mentioned by people that I know to most mentioned. That being said, the first one, number 16, is actually a book that was not mentioned by anybody that I follow or am friends with on Goodreads, but the numbers and the feeling that I have of, I see this book all the time. I hear people in my general life talking about this all the time. And that is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score, which is number 3 in the Knock Me Out series. Now, what I'll say, the caveat to this is maybe it won't be the 3rd book. Maybe it'll be the 2nd book. I don't know. And there's no reason why I should be saying that this will be on the list, but it does have a 4.47 and 125,000 ratings. And it came out 3 months ago. What? That's crazy, girl, crazy. And I know also, another reason I put it on here is that I don't really follow romance readers on Goodreads. Now, I do follow people that do like romantasy, or maybe they dabble in romance, but they mainly do something else. So for all I know, when I'm going through Booktube's best books, this is going to be on there, and maybe I just don't follow those people on Goodreads. So that's number 16. Number 15 is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. And I am very shocked to tell you that only one person that is on my friends or following gave this 5 stars. But I hear people talk about this all the time. So I'm confused. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely think this is going to win Best Mystery for the Goodreads Choice Awards. And it has a 4.20 star rating and 158,000 ratings. And it came out 4 months ago. That's crazy. That's insane. Now, I will say that quite a few people that I follow gave it 4 stars, but I still think that it has a really good not idea, it has a good possibility of making it onto the list, because there are quite a few people that I watch their best books that maybe they like more of like a lighter, cozier mystery. Like they like Ruth Ware, they like Lisa Jewell, like stuff like that. And I think that this really is a contender, because I've heard so many people say that the audiobook for this is amazing and that it's one of their favorite, if not their favorite, Lisa Jewell. We continue to be confused because at number 14, I have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Only one person that I know has given this 5 stars. When I tell you, I have heard so many people talk about this book. I've heard so many people talk about this book. Like, are they just not posting it on Goodreads? Like, I'm very genuinely confused. I have watched people's videos where I have seen with my eyes, heard with my ears, processed with my brain, people saying that they absolutely love this book. So I feel like I'm bamboozled. Like, am I gaslighting myself? I don't understand. But it has a 4.30, 44,000 ratings, and it only came out 5 months ago. This is a romance, and I actually don't know anything else about it, but because of it's just been like stuck in my head of people love that book, even though maybe I only saw it twice, but in my head I've seen it 7 times. I'm gonna read it. Do I know what it's about? No, but I'm gonna read it. Number 13, unsurprisingly, is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Now, technically, only 2 people I know gave this 5 stars, but there was quite a few 4 stars. And in this numbering category, I would count 4.5 as 5s, but there wasn't really any 4.5s. 2 people I know gave it 5 stars, and like 6 people gave it 4 stars. So I still think that this could really hold a chance making it on the list for the simple fact that people are just going to be astonished that the book didn't suck. Because to be quite frank, after Survive the Night, I had Riley Sager's mom on speed dial. I was like, ma'am, come get your son. Ma'am, get the ruler out, get the belt out, okay? Please, please.
My mom says I make bad choices.
Anyway, this has a 4.16 and it has 124,000 ratings, and it only came out 5 months ago. And honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of looking for the cover. And I already watched a bunch of people's live shows discussing this book, so I know everything that happens. And I feel like I would have given it 4 stars too. And if I'm saying that, I feel like it's gotta be good. Number 12 is Powerless by Elsie Silver. Now, my one contention with this is that this is the 3rd in the Chestnut Springs series, in which I have heard so many people talk about, even though, again, I don't necessarily follow and watch that many like dedicated romance readers. So for me to hear about it as much as I have means that it must be amazing in other parts of the Booktube community. But the one thing is that I hear people say that the 3 books are following 3 different couples and that you don't love them the same. Like, you love one of the books the most, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, this couple, whatever. And I haven't heard the best things about Powerless, but I know that people love this series. So I don't know. This might get mixed up in a bunch of people going like, oh yeah, I read Powerless, but actually Reckless. So I'm not going to count individual books as one. In this, Powerless, Reckless, Heartless are all going to be separate books. I'm not going to consider it the Chestnut Springs series and it make it onto the list, if that makes sense. But 3 people that I follow and I'm friends with on Goodreads gave this 5 stars. So I feel like if they're going to put it on their favorites, that's already 3 people. And then all the romance viewers that I'm going to watch, I think the numbers are going to climb. Number 11 is actually a book that I adored and gave 4.5 stars, and that is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. It has a 4.18 stars, and it has 220,000 ratings, and it came out less than 6 months ago. Ali Hazelwood, I think Ali Hazelwood might have it in the bag for Best Romance of 2023, according to Goodreads Choice Awards. Anyway, I think that Ali Hazelwood is going to make it on this list every year, though it didn't make it on the list last year. So I'm kind of talking out my ass on that one.
I lied.
Number 10 is one that I swear I never hear people talk about it. I've never seen a reading vlog for it. I don't hear in vlogs, in wrap-ups, people talking about it, but in the comment sections of everyone everywhere all the time, this book is like, oh my God, best book of the year. And that's The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I don't know what this is about, but it's really long and it's fantasy. The cover, I want to say the cover's pretty. The cover's okay. Now, A Day of Fallen Night, that cover's stunning. but it's not going to make it on the list. I really doubt it. But this book, The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi, when I tell you, I, on a whim, was like, let's just go see. And when I tell you 4 of my friends in the book community not only give it 5 stars, but all 4 of them said favorite book of the year, or one of my favorite books of the year so far. That's crazy. That's crazy. So I feel like it definitely has a chance to make it into the list. Number 9 is deceptively low, even though I am absolutely sure that it's going to make it into the list, like without a doubt. And that's Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, another book in which I read and gave 4 stars, and I genuinely really liked it, and is a romance, contemporary romance, but Abby Jimenez, like, can't miss. Part of Your World, I think, was like number 5 on last year's Best Books. So I definitely think that this is going to make it. It has 148,000 ratings and it came out 8 months ago. And 4 of the people that I am friends and follow gave it 5 stars, and I gave it 4 stars. And there was quite a few other people that gave it 4 stars. So I feel like it's kind of not even appropriate to say it's a contender. I feel like it's a sure thing. Honestly, I feel like the audacity of this book to be number 8, which is my favorite number, it's kind of rude. I'm acting like I absolutely hated this book. I didn't, but the disappointment was so strong that I ended up unhauling the series, and that's Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I love Leigh Bardugo. What was that book? I'm sorry. This is not me giving my opinions. Hellbent is the second in the 9th house, or Alex, what's her name? Something Galaxy? I can't believe I'm forgetting. Alex Stern? I'm not going to cut this out. You're just here riding this ride with me, going through the swamps of my memory. So this is a book that came out and it has 89,000 ratings and has a 4.17 11 months ago, but 5 of my Booktube friends gave it 5 stars. And I feel like Mayana is going to single-handedly make this book get in this list, because when I tell you she's read the book, I think 5 times this year. 5 times. Like, that influence alone has got to have pushed so many people to read this book. So yeah, while I gave it 2 stars, I still think it might end up on this list, but at the same time, I kind of don't think so, because even though a lot of people gave it 5 stars, I still hear people saying like, okay, but like, what was the point? Like, fun, but like, what was the point? Anyway, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm bashing this. Let's move on. Here's another, I can't believe it's only number 7, because I would guess that it's going to be in the top 3 of Best Books of 2023, and that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now, I say that I'm confused, but actually, I guess it makes sense. I have 5 people that gave it 5 stars, but most of the people I know in the book community thought this was okay. Gave it 3, 3.5. A lot of people were like, a generous 3.5 or a generous 3. Not because the book is bad, but because it's a very disappointing departure of Emily Henry's previous books, in which I and the rest of the world have adored. So I know this is going to make it on the list, but I also think it's going to make it on the list of people's most disappointing books of 2023, which is quite funny. So this has a 4.07, which in terms of Emily Henry, that's low. That's low. But it has 547,000 ratings, and it came out 7 months ago. Wow. I hate to say that it will probably win for Best Romance. I don't think it should. Like, I gave it 3 stars. I'm not saying it's terrible. Or maybe I gave it 2.5. I think I gave it 2.5. But like, best? Anyway, number 6 is also a definitive, but shockingly doesn't have the best ratings, and that is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and it only has a 3.88 star rating, which is very surprising to me, because not only did it get the absolute star treatment when it came to special editions, but the book is honestly fantastic. Now, I say that, and I gave it 4 stars, or I gave it 4.5, and I read it twice. I did a book club discussion about it, the whole bit. I think this book is stunning. It's amazing. The ending threw me, and I didn't really like that, but everything else was fantastic, okay? So this came out 6 months ago, and it has 202,000 ratings, in which I thought there would be a lot more, to be honest. But we did have 6 people that I follow that gave it 5 stars and absolutely adored it. And because I think that this is a book that's for people in the book community that are for reviewers, I think that it has way more high likelihood to make it into the top 10, if not the top 5 of 2023. Speaking of books that I think could possibly make it onto this list because of them really relating to book reviewers and relating to our community, that's The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that people are going to be like, this is one of my best books of the year. I think they're going to say, this is one of the best reading experiences. This is one of the most thrilling, most exciting, engaging, like had me on the edge of my seat. I was also laughing. That's how I felt. And that's how so many people that I know felt. Honestly, like most people. And this is another book that I read for my book club. This is a 3.77 star rating. It has 39,000 ratings. It came out 7 months ago. But that being said, 7 people in the book community gave it either 5 or 4.5 stars. And I think that that relatability of fearing book reviews, because that's what the book is based on, I think that that's really engaging for a lot of us. So I definitely expect to see it at least on people's most surprising books of 2023 lists. Okay, number 4 is funny. Number 4 is funny because I do truly believe that this is a book that is going to both end up on people's worst books and their best books in almost equal measure. Maybe like 60% best, 40% worse. And that's The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I freaking loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I was eating it up. I thought it was thrilling, amazing, fantastic, sapphic. Loved it. We love a toxic female friendship. But a lot of people despise this book. I can't relate. I don't understand why. Like, I genuinely do not get it. Like, respect your opinion, but I don't understand. This is a book that has a 3.44 star rating, which made it barred from the Goodreads Choice Awards of being in the best mystery category, in which I think is a true crime. An actual crime. Okay, this has 48,000 ratings and it came out 9 months ago, but 7 of my Booktube friends gave this 5 or 4.5 stars and were like, this is one of the most exciting reading experiences I've ever had. And I totally agree. So this, no matter how many people put it on their worst books, I am absolutely sure it's going to make it into my 2023 video. The top 3, obviously, I have no doubt are going to make it into the list. And I think top 5. Okay. I think we have another case in our hands of the I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And that is, of course, the book that without a doubt is going to win best autobiography and memoir. And that is The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. I have seen this everywhere. And I don't just mean in the book community. I mean people in my real life, coworkers, family. My brother read it. My sister-in-law read it. My niece read it. And all of them read it in like one day. What do you mean? What do you mean? My coworker read it? And I was like, you don't even read books. What do you mean you read this in 2 days? Gooped and gagged. Like, I don't understand. So The Woman in Me has a 4.21 star rating. It has 115,000 ratings. And it literally came out last month. Or maybe even this month. Did it come out this month? Anyway. Are you kidding me? That's insane. And everybody's absolutely loving it. Like, the thing is, 8 of my book friends rated it and gave it 5 stars, but there were also quite a few people that didn't rate it, but I counted it toward the 8 people. I think 3 out of the 8 didn't rate it, but in their review said that it was a favorite of 2023, but they just don't rate nonfiction and memoirs, in which I completely respect and for the most part do as well. Or I do myself, is not rate them. But I don't hope. I know this is going to make it on the list. Okay, let's stop messing around. The top 2 are ones that I am willing to bet are going to be in spot 1 and spot 2. And then spot 3 is going to be Happy Place. Or maybe spot 1, I'm 1,000% sure. Spot 2, maybe Happy Place. Spot 3, this one. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. 4.26 star rating, 137,000 ratings, came out 8 months ago, and 8 of my book friends, literally their reviews were like screaming, crying, throwing up. Oh my God, I've never loved something this much. This is what reading is all about. Yeah. Haven't read it yet. Didn't know it was YA. Didn't know that, but I still need to read it because everybody's been telling me like, Katie, I know you don't really love YA and you're not really a big romance person. I don't care. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And I'm too afraid to read it in 2023 because if I put another popular book on my worst books of the year, I'm going to have to cancel myself. And number one, what do you think I'm going to say? What do you think I'm going to say? I don't care if you've never seen any of my videos. What do you think the best book, according to other people, is that came out in 2023? Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Also, the Rebeccas of this world in publishing have been honestly slaying 2023. We have Rebecca Yarros, we have Rebecca F. Kwong, we have Rebecca Ross. The Rebeccas. Like, is this like the Heathers? Like, I'm a little confused. Fourth Wing. That's another book that I truly think is going to go on people's best and worst books. But more than that, I know definitively that Fourth Wing is going to be the number one book of 2023, but I am absolutely positive Iron Flame is going to go on the worst books. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Call it intuition. I know for a fact people are all going to put that on their worst books. And all I'm saying is that I saw it coming.
I said what I said,
As
and
always.
I'm not changing on it, okay? I said what I said.
All I'm saying is that I saw it coming. Anyway, this is a 4.64 star rating, which is good for Rebecca Yarros. Good for Rebecca Yarros. You get your bag. Okay. It has 723,000 ratings, and it came out less than 6 months ago. How is that possible? Like, I'm pretty sure she's broken every single record that has ever existed. And 11 of my friends gave this 5 stars. 11. We're not going to talk about what I rated it. We're not going to talk about that. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, I'm going to go over the couple books that did not come out in 2023, but I still think are going to end up on this list. The first and the most obvious is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is a book that was in the top 3 of last year, and I've seen quite a few people when I went and looked that had given it 5 stars in 2023. So of just the people that read it in 2023 that gave it 5 stars, we have 6 of my friends. This book came out a year and 3 months ago. It has a 4.23 star rating and it has 155,000 ratings, in which that seems really low for how beloved this book is. 155,000? How does Yellowface have more ratings than Babel? Maybe did I misprint that? If I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, I'm very sorry to R.F. Kuang. Okay, the next one is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This came out a year and 7 months ago, but 4 of my friends gave it 5 stars and absolutely adored it, and they read it in the year of 2023. So I think that it might not make it on the list, but it might be an honorable mention to say the least. And this has a 4.33 star rating and it has 179,000 ratings. I also read it this year and I gave it 4.5 stars and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. One of the best romances I've ever read. This isn't going to happen, but if it did.
And I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
I would be so happy. Mayfly by CJ Lead. What happened, Goodreads? What happened? Like, CJ Lead deserved to be in the horror category, and it's just honestly sickening that y'all snubbed her. Any Man by Amber Tamblyn. I better see this on y'all's best books. If I don't see this on 5 people's best books,
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
I cannot come up with a scenario that is gutting enough for what I'm going to do. When I tell you, if I do not see this on 5 people's best books, every single month, I'm going to make a video that's just me staring into the camera while this audiobook plays in the background. And I won't monetize it because it can't be monetized. It will just be me staring into the camera for 5 hours. Once a month. Please read this book. It's so freaking good. I'm literally obsessed. Real quick, I'm going to interject what I think a couple of the books that might possibly end up on the worst books if I make a video for it. I will say it is much harder to guess this because people on their worst books, it doesn't tend to be 2023 releases. Now, disappointing books video, those are majority 2023 releases, if not books that got onto the 2022 best books that they read because of the hype. So the books that I think are going to end up on the worst books, Iron Flame. I'm saying it. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it loud and I'm saying it proud. Iron Flame. Also, How to Sell a Haunted House. I really think so. Also, The Writing Retreat. I said that. And the Alice Feeney book. Good Bad Girl. Honestly, the title alone. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Like that can't stand it. Also, the cover. Alice Feeney. Alice Feeney, you did like one good thing with Daisy Darker and then you went right back. I was about to say to the gutter. That is so horrible. I am so sorry. Okay, anyway, those are the only ones that off like kind of the top of my head, I'm like, yeah, I don't think the girls were gagged over those books. Anyway, if you have made it this far into the video, then leave the trophy emoji for things that might get the trophies. They might get the medals for best books of the year. If you have any opinions on any of these, if you think that you don't think they will get on, or if you're like, oh my God, Katie, yeah, you nailed it. Absolutely, that's going on. Then please leave it in the comments down below. That would be really awesome. If there's any books that I put on here that I have not read that you're like, duh, that's 5 stars. Why are you waiting around? Let me know, because I did tell you all the ones that I have read thus far in 2023 or that I'm currently reading. Anyway, I hope that you are all having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, wherever it is you are, and whatever time of the world you're having it in. Anyway, bye.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all.